They have poses like that. But Ali poses wait, and then Aaliyah going wait.
That's the main reason I put it there.
Hey, hey, hey! Oh,
Check out the Marcus and Manny show. I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe.
Welcome everyone to another edition of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I'm of course Lord Manny Hayes, and I'm joined by
Marcus the Great! Check out the graphic above my head! Finale! Bang, 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 blah, 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 blah.
So how are you doing today, Marcus?
I'm in the best shape of my life.
Well,
No, I'm good.
we're actually
Exciting
getting
week in
concerned with
wrestling.
health.
It's mental health, physical health, and life of just being exhausted every day. But you know what? I will persevere. I will survive this. I will not let the Bay kill Marcus the Grand Finale again.
Again.
I think I died several times with this trip already.
So you ready to get into the show?
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Well, let's kick off with NXT Takeover 31. And so they made a change to the Performance Center. They've renamed it to the Capital Wrestling Center. And the actual arena did look really good for it, like coming from what we saw when Raw and SmackDown were emanating from the Performance Center. They've really changed it up.
Yeah. I really like the look of it. It really looks like it looks more like Raw Underground than it does anything else. Excuse me, but with
It,
LED screens
yeah, it did
and
look. It had the vibes of the Fight Pit with LED
yeah,
screens all around it.
yeah, it had like I really enjoyed the look of it. The plexiglass with the gate or cage or whatever around it was a good look. They had a bunch of people in there. I'm assuming they're all wrestlers, family, friends, or something like that. I think I could have did it with less people, and I thought they had audio issues. I don't know. I feel like there were just audio issues throughout the show or throughout the new setup, in which they were like always tweaking it or adjusting to it. Either the crowd noise always felt was too like in the first match it was really really loud, like the fake audio, and then it kind of turned it down for the other matches, but it seemed to be going back and forth with the audio. But it was still cool. It was still a nice setup.
And then, so we kicked off with the NXT North American Championship, and this kicked off hot. Like, you don't normally see Damian Priest work a little man style, but he worked it.
Yeah. Man, he was quick. He was using his educated feet and diving and doing a million kicks. Might have the best bicycle kicks or spinning kicks in the game because they move at a really rapid pace. This is what Luchasaurus dreamed his kicks would look like.
Well,
That's
that's the
how
thing.
fast they were.
Yeah, that's the thing, because he's also Priest is about 6'7", and then his kicks are a lot faster than Luchasaurus on AEW.
Yeah, and they're very accurate too. Like it's rare when you see it actually completely miss. Even though I believe he don't connect on any of them, it's just they look more fluid and natural. And this was a really nice way to start a show. And I didn't think it would start with this match. I thought this would be one of the middle matches, and maybe they'd start with the cruiserweight title or whatnot. But I saw it was good use of showing the entire set with Priest's interest with all the fire around everything, and it really looked intense. And Priest continues to me to stand out as being the guy. He's going to be the guy at some point because he's looking really impressive for the past 3 months or so.
Yeah. So you mentioned previously that Damian Priest is everything Vince wants in Baron Corbin, which makes me question how long do you think he's got left on NXT?
I don't know, because there's rumors of the draft, like NXT being a part of the draft and not part of the draft. There was the Twitter account that they deleted saying they're not. So I don't think he has that much longer. Maybe he is after the Royal Rumble because I think they want to give him a lengthy North American reign. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know because I think Johnny's gonna take that title from him eventually or something. I don't know.
Well, I that was my next question. Who's next for Damian Priest? I think it's going to be someone like Kushida.
The more vicious Kushida, I can see
Yeah.
that. I can see that, or even Thatcher. Thatcher trying to get a run with him. Like
Yeah.
there's a few people in that like NXT. I guess it's called a mid card. I honestly don't know because it's really deep. So I'm going with maybe Thatcher or like you said, Kushida will fit this way. Is Kushida evil now? Is this officially evil Kushida?
I don't
That
know
he
because
broke.
I don't think there was any point anyone was really cheering Velveteen Dream because he was really healing it up. So moving on to the next match, it is Velveteen Dream versus Kushida. But like Velveteen Dream came out looking like what's his name, Doc Brown from Back to
Doc
the
Brown.
Future. Yeah,
Yeah, Doc.
and there was various times in this match which I found funny personally to myself. Was the powder that they had in Dream's hair was was coming off onto his face, and it looked like he was pulling off whiteface.
Well, I enjoy the Dreams look in this match of the white hair. I think because I've seen people do the Doc Brown look in Japan. I think it was Shibata, maybe the most recent. I don't remember, but I thought he really pulled it off as a black Doc Brown, and the fact that you know it to me it worked. Like the first thing I thought was, people hate Velveteen because of his allegations, but therefore he is dressed up as Doc Brown, who hung around a high school kid in Back to the Future movies when he probably shouldn't have been doing that. It's probably in the vines, running tests and shit. But I enjoyed all that. Dream was healing it up, and to me, this is one of the top matches of the night. And match wise, Velveteen Dream continues to sell well, and this new aggressive Kushida was really working. Like I'm glad they reestablished Kushida because he was just there.
So Grunge said, so I'm assuming he's alluding to the Dream, was screaming like a little biatch. But so there was various times in this match where I thought Kushida had broken Dream's arm. That's how good he was selling. And like we joke about Cody being the Black Parade. Well, this was the armbar parade because there was a million of them.
The man of 1,000 arm bars. Roddy Strong may be the Messiah, the backbreaker, but the Messiah of the arm bar was Kushida. He was all over that man's arm. Like, if Velveteen Dream is seen on NXT this week writing or doing anything with his arm, I'll be extremely upset. He should have a broke arm, and I believe he sold it that way. Even when he did like the Dream Valley Driver, and he like fell on his arm, and he's like, "Oh God!" And then even at the end of the match, I can't move it. I can't move it.
So funny you say that you think Dream's going to be back on Wednesday. I wrote down as a question: did they just write off the Dream, or was this giving Dream a loss before he goes to the main roster, like they tend to do with like they did with Matt Riddle, where he lost in the fight pit?
Well, I feel like he needs to go to the main roster. I think he's done. I'm not saying he did everything. He's never became champion. He's been North American champion, but he's kind of did everything in NXT in which it doesn't feel like he can do anything fresh, even though I'm liking that he's more of a heel in NXT. And I don't feel like this is a write-off for an injury. I think they were just selling really hard for Kushida to put Kushida over, to put him to that next level. Like you said, Kushida looks like he's moving on to either the North American or even chasing after Finn at the heavyweight title. And Dream sold that. And I think taking Dream off will be given into these allegations and stuff of hashtag Fire Velveteen Dream, which was trending again because everybody's a racist and no one goes after Austin Theory.
And saying that, I do tend to, if I see that stuff on Twitter, I do tend to tweet back. I hope you're saying that about Austin Theory as well. Otherwise, you're giving off All Lives Matters vibes, and we don't tolerate that shit here.
Yeah. And then my main argument with the whole Fire Velveteen Dream is that there's no new evidence or anything. There's nothing that's happened. There's nothing that says he's guilty anymore. It's just like, it was just the person on Twitter, wait, how can he be back on TV and all that? That's not even happening anymore. It was just like, man, shut your noise up. Like, the WWE took the precautions, and they probably did whatever mediocre investigation they did, but there seems to be, like Triple H says, nothing there. If the police aren't getting involved, or the kids' parents aren't getting involved, or, whatever the case may be, it just seems like there's nothing actually there.
So, moving on to what I believe was my match of the night. Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Santos Escobar for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. And this was insane.
It was great. Oh. It was both of these guys at their maximum potential. Go ahead.
Oh, in my notes, it was just an excellent match. So many times here I thought Swerve Scott was going to win. I even text you and Eric that I thought this was going to be the win for Swerve, because they've had 3 fights. This is their 3rd fight, I believe, and now would have been the time to get Swerve the win. But they did a great job of storytelling of Swerve and his determination to win. But I just really didn't like the bump onto the turnbuckle, the metal thing to end the match. I really didn't like that. But other than that, the match was solid. And then your boy, Tahiti Miles, now known as Ashante Adonis, made a set during this match, which
made something of himself.
And, this now looks like there's a new tag team on the NXT's non-existent tag team roster. But what did you feel about this match? Because I did all the talking about this.
All right, before we go further, I want to talk about Ashanti Adonis and Swerve Scott. Before I go into details of how much I love this match, Ashanti Adonis, we need Leon Ruff, right, to finish this group? Come on, Leon needs to finish the Ruff bunch.
I don't think we put Tahuti in the Rough Bunch.
He wasn't it Tahuti, Leon, and Denzel Dejournette?
No, the Rough Bunch was Denzel Dejournette and then Leon Ruff. We never brought Tahuti Miles to it.
I thought he was always in it.
No, because Tahuti Miles never looked like a jobber. He looked like he was getting somewhere. But
yeah, that's true. That's true. But I was happy to see him incorporate into this and going against Legado del Fantasma in this feud. And I said that naturally. Wow, I must really be tired. But they had, it was nice to see that. And this had everything in it. This was a classic, to me, X Division match. In which, when the X Division really brought it with AJ and Daniels or whoever, this felt more like that. And it really put weight onto the Cruiserweight title because it was so many false finishes. You believe Swerve was going to win, and you honestly had no clue I was going to. I enjoyed the finish of it because it's Santos Escobar winning with another cheap way of winning with the Turbo Pack, and you can just run it back because he's cheated on each victory against Swerve, whether it was not the Protector, but the Lucha Mask, the loaded Lucha Mask. And now with the turnbuckle post, he hasn't won a fair victory, and it's only building up. I believe Swerve is eventually going to beat him for that title, and this just gives him another option, maybe either at Halloween Havoc or even the next Takeover to take it from him.
Well, shout out to, I didn't even bring that up, shout out to NXT bringing back Halloween Havoc.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a load of fun. You just know they've got a lot of plan for that.
Yeah, I was already, of all the WCW pay-per-views, Halloween Havoc was always my favorites because I thought it was the coolest wrestling. It might be my favorite wrestling title of a show because I thought it was the perfect name for a wrestling show. Halloween Havoc. It just fits so well, and they had the Shotzi promo with it, and I was like, this is so perfect. This is everything I wanted, and I was really excited. Even though I can only tell you like 2 Halloween Havoc matches I've ever liked in my life. I just like the
I like the Bash at the Beach only because they always had the decent set, especially when they had that set where they were surrounded by a pool. I thought that was that was a cool set.
Yeah, those like the few that like even the Hog Wild Sturgis when they surrounded by bikers on the outside. I'm looking forward to WWE bringing back all these old WCW properties, and I think right now, since we're in this pandemic, some of these properties do make the most sense. Like like the Hog Wild, the motorcycle, like the drive-in wrestling show. Like
Yeah.
you could probably do something like that, or even Bash at the Beach, in which is an outdoor event and people could be separated in space. I don't know how you would, completely separate everything with the pool and everything, but you can really do that. And I look forward to them just revisiting all these old, WCW properties.
As
And
Grunchmurth just said, just to piss off Cody. Just to piss off Cody, I would make Starcade a big deal.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh Starcade would be the biggest deal, and the Bash, the Great American Bash.
Yeah.
It would be. I would piss off Cody, and I would bring up his daddy and all his footage every single time I see it, just to piss off Cody. He would be more emo than ever and just pissed off. But I feel like some of this isn't even just to piss off Cody. It's just Halloween Havoc is just a cool title for anything. Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm a Halloween mark, guys. I don't know if you know this. I love Halloween, but it's for it. Shotzi Blackheart being the new Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, works for me too. Like,
I need her to have a title match at Halloween Havoc. I don't need her to be the host. Someone like her should be having a title match at Halloween Havoc. She can lose. I don't care if she loses.
but do you think she's going to get the title match over, I know I'm jumping ahead over the returning Ember Moon and even Toni Storm. I mean, we can talk about the women's match and then talk about them coming out after, but or whichever way. I'll let you host it.
Okay, let's just cover the women's match because so Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. I was surprised Io retained because it also signs, especially everyone in the Pick'em Championship. Most of them went for Candice to pick up the win, except El Luchador. If there was any title that seemed like it was going to change hands that night, it would have been this one. I think the match suffered coming up after the cruiserweight match because the cruiserweight match was hot, and then this one definitely toned down the momentum. It was a good match. It
was good. It
felt like it was a tough act to follow.
Yeah, they followed really two great matches already with Priest and Gargano, and then Escobar, Swerve, and even Dream and Kushida. They followed three great matches that there was no way they were going to keep the momentum with this match. Even though I enjoyed the match, I thought Johnny running out with the going for the Bailey finish was ridiculous. But I never thought Candice was winning this match. I don't know how, in the DSPN Pick'em Challenge or whatever, these contenders picked Candice because because I'm thinking they're full board with Gargano and Candice aren't winning. They're going to win at the same time.
Yeah,
because they keep bringing it up.
I honestly thought that they were going to pull the trigger on that tonight on NXT Takeover. But it could be that they're going to the main roster. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how that works.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're going to the main roster anytime soon, and this could happen at any point. They can fulfill their prophecy whenever, maybe even at Halloween Havoc. But I think that my whole thing is they wanted Priest to have at least one or two good titles. This is first title defense, Priest? I can't recall.
I think he's had some on NXT.
Maybe he fought Cameron Grimes. I don't know. But I think they wanted to give him at least one successful one. And you know what I was missing from that match is the hot tub. No hot tub celebration.
That was
missing. But yeah, Io and Candice delivered, I thought, a really good match. And I thought on any other takeover, this would have been a really good, like maybe even considered a show-stealing match. But this takeover was amazing. It was just like match after match. Like there was no like down, like, I could have did without that. But it was nothing like, it was like, oh, this is match. Like they just hitting hits. They were just playing the hits. It was like a great band, just like, I'm going to go on stage and just play all my hits. And you're like, damn, man, Prince, you got a lot of songs.
So the funny thing I thought about that happened in this match was there was a ref bump. Well, there was two ref bumps.
Yes.
And then Johnny Gargano come out the ring wearing a ref shirt without the WWE logo or an NXT logo, and you got the ref going, "That is my shirt, give it back." I feel like the ref got hit really too hard that he believed he wasn't wearing a shirt.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand it. I feel like they mixed up the spot. Like, I think the referee originally was told that he's going to take his shirt, but Johnny took another shirt instead from the back, which looked like it was probably even too big for this referee anyway, because it was too big for Gargano. Like, I don't know what happened with that, but I like the tease of the infamous Bayley Sasha finish because it looked like they were going that route with it.
Yeah.
And the fact that she kicked out and they had that moment, it was like, oh, this is good. This is good.
So,
but
this leads
us, go ahead.
This leads us to the end of the match. So, Toni Storm appears on the screen, reminds Io that she's got a victory over her and that she's back in NXT. And we then get the identity of the biker, which turns out to be Ember Moon. So, should they have held off Ember Moon's return to Halloween Havoc? And who will have the better return out of the two, Toni Storm or Ember Moon?
Okay, so this is how I felt on this one in general, and I feel like it was too much. Too many people coming after Io like that in an already stacked division, in which they touted as the best division in the world. On I think that was Raw or some shit in the commercial, but I thought the motorcycle should have been Toni Storm. I feel like they should have did that entrance and everything and gave that to Toni Storm. And Ember Moon should have been in the Halloween Havoc video package instead of Shotzi. Even though Shotzi works, I feel like the whole Halloween after Moon thing, and then revealing and then just saying Ember Moon returns at Halloween Havoc, I think that would have been a bigger impact than her just coming out after Toni Storm. Because Toni Storm upstaged her. Because she came out, Toni Storm cut her promo and was like, oh shit, it's Toni Storm. And then Ember comes out on the motorcycle and I'm going like, I prefer Toni Storm. And I feel like Toni Storm is going to have the bigger impact. Even though I like Ember Moon.
I've never got behind the Ember train. I just don't get why all she is. She may have been an accomplished wrestler outside the WWE, but all Ember Moon is to me is a howl, red eye contact lenses, and that total eclipse from the top rope. That is all she is to me.
Her Asuka matches were really good, and people give too much credit to Asuka in that one. I give Ember a lot of credit as well. Ember is better than what that you and Eric, I believe, both don't give her credit for. And I hope we get to see more of this, a better version of Ember Moon. I believe that when she was in NXT, she was caught up too soon. She was down there for a bit, but she was champion and then was like, she's gone again. She's back on the main roster. And she just got lost in the shuffle there, like so many other women. And I feel like she's going to be a bigger deal on this show, unless Kaden Carter takes her spot.
I think Ember Moon's taking Kaden Carter's spot.
Where do you think Kaden Carter's going to go?
This is the last time we're seeing Kaden Carter.
I think we still get the KC Express. They may end up on the main roster, though. Like, if there were people who I felt like they could go, I would move them.
There's a few on NXT that you think they're going to have to take a few of the women up. Because the women's division is looking a lot weaker without... It's definitely a lot weaker without Charlotte and Becky on that roster.
Yeah, and you got, Bayley and Sasha just being... They're suffocating that SmackDown time. And I'm saying it's a bad thing. I enjoy what they're doing. And suffocate may be the wrong word. But they are the women's division, essentially. And Asuka's just fighting a bunch of cronies.
Do you know what's hard is... I feel like the women's division was currently going through their Attitude Era, where it was like Triple H, Undertaker, Stone Cold, and The Rock, where you've got the 4 horsewomen, and then that was it. And then you had people around the situation. But now you're running into that thing where we're getting a bit tired of all 4 of them.
Well, it's only 2 left.
Yeah, there's only 2 left, but it's a bit tiring to have them constantly go at it. So it's like you need to save some of this. Like it's a great thing to go fall back on, but like, where are the other stars? Like,
well, you got Mercedes and Mia on technically on Raw, a part of Retribution, and they can pretty much go and fill someone else tag team roles. And I like to see them go after Nia and Shayna, who also probably need. And I know you hate Nia, but they also probably need to be separated. And I don't know. And you have a deeper division for Raw instead of relying on Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose and the Boat.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, my favorite thing in wrestling is watching Lana go through that table every week. I think they need to keep this streak going. I need 10 straight weeks of Lana going through the table and just being like, I'm just gonna throw myself through it. I'm just like, I had enough. Because that's all that keeps happening.
To close up NXT Takeover 31, we had Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. This match was a match that we normally would only see in Japan. This match, they were trying to kill each other.
Yeah, this was a fight. This was the ultimate underdog fight of like two guys just laying it in thick on each other, and it was aggressive. They were doing some of the best technical spots in the match. Even Finn breaking out a sharpshooter out of another submission. Kyle O'Reilly, again, as people sleep on Kyle O'Reilly, is still one of the best wrestlers in the world. And the only person I can compare him to is Daniel Bryan in his prime, or Bryan Danielson, but maybe even better. That's how good I think Kyle O'Reilly is. And Finn accentuated that. Finn looked like the big boss. To me, this was the NXT version of Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns, but NXT style of the underdog versus the boss. But it was more of a back and forth. And at some points, I thought Kyle might win.
Kyle broke his jaw with that knee to the face. Like, yes. I've never seen someone's face swell up that quickly.
Well, he broke his jaw, but did he really knock the wind out of Kyle, or was he just selling? Because that looked like, oh, what happened here? Because he just collapsed, and then it was just like, pause, guys, and then Finn would do those stops, and I was like, man, they're fucking trying to kill each other. You could tell they were really going for it.
See, what you forget is what you really need to do in boxing and MMA is work that body, baby. Work that body.
Work that body. Kyle's going to work on his abs in future matches so he doesn't get the wind knocked out of him. But, yeah, that's what it seemed like it happened. And it was just, I don't know what more. Like, this show had probably three matches of the year candidates, as in Clash of Champions previously had like 2 the week before. And I was like, this is why, to me, NXT is the best wrestling show and brand. It's my favorite. There's nothing secret about that. When they go against AEW, I'm clearly rooting for NXT to overcome the range. But to me, it's just a superior show. It has the better wrestlers. Everybody's more crisp and refined, and you get these super, maybe even sporting, like Japanese-style matches. And it was amazing. It was absolutely stunning.
And then the end of the match saw the Northern Grit.
The sign up sent the message.
He sent a message, all right. Holding up Adam Cole. And stopping him. Cole had a black eye and everything. I don't know what he did to Cole.
He beat the shit out of him, and I don't know why. I'm sure he said something. He had to have said something. No man gets his ass beat like that unless he has said something or did something. Maybe he slept with Ridge's girl. Maybe he owed him money. Maybe he said something about, stupid and racist. I don't know what he could have said. Well, maybe he was like, America first or something.
I like how they all turned to Finn in the ring and was like, do you have something to do with this?
Nah, man. Chill out, y'all. Dude, crazy. I thought it was a weird ending, though. Because I have no clue where they're going with that. Why was that the ending of the show? I mean, I know they want to establish Ridge as the new Lesnar or Beast on NXT or in WWE, but it just seemed like it was out of nowhere.
I thought this might be the end of Adam Cole being on NXT. But it looks like either he's going to turn on Kyle. It looked like the way they were building is he was going to turn on Kyle at some point during this night. But
yeah. He was like, "You're my friend, man. You're gonna do it. This opportunity. Show him what you can do." Like he was over supportive. It gave me Rey Mysterio family vibes, even though nobody has turned on each other in that family. But they're so over supportive, in which you're going like, "Yep, someone's gonna hit somebody in the nuts in this family, and it's gonna be devastating." And that's what I felt like about Adam Cole. And I don't know where they're going with Ridge Holland. Maybe him and Balor are gonna form some alliance. Maybe, and he's just playing it off.
I feel like Finn needs a group.
Yeah. He needs to form his own club. Maybe they're the X club. He has his X and it's a club. And it's him, Ridge Holland, and Tahuti Miles. I don't know. I'm just making shit up.
Why Tahuti Miles?
The first name that popped in my head. I don't know. I don't ask questions. Tahuti Miles.
I think Ridge Holland would make a very good underboss.
Okay. What about this? Here's something that crossed my mind during the night when it happened. I don't know the status of Marty Scurll. Do you think this could be a form of a villain club being formed with Ridge and Marty and somebody else?
Marcus, don't play with my emotions.
I'm just saying, Finn, Marty, and Ridge form some form of a villain club.
I would love it, but I believe he's the Ring of Honor head booker, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't know where anybody's at anymore since this pandemic. I feel like everybody's up for grabs. Like, yeah. I believe he showed up in NWA for a bit, and I honestly don't know where anybody's at. So I was just hoping. That's me really hoping, shooting in the dark. Like if Marty would have came out at the end of NXT with after Ridge Holland would have killed him, I was like, that would have been the biggest moment in wrestling, maybe for the year.
Okay, just to cover off the Pick'em Championship, Wes is on 0 as he started.
The champ! Oh, is it because he started -1? Is that why he's out? Pretty much.
Yeah. So he only got Swerve Scott correct. El Luchador finished the night on 4, as it was selected by all 3 of us on the Sharpshooters Wrestling podcast. That is currently on 44 views. Well done, Eric.
Hey, hold on. Well done, Eric. He doubled his viewership of the previous show, Manny. He doubled the viewership. Wow, we doubled ours, and it's now 400 and something views.
We quadrupled it, baby.
Woo, that's a 300% increase, and we lost a subscriber.
And then the Dizman finished on 1. However, I did ask all to send me their picks for AEW Dynamite this by Showtime today. The only person that sent me picks was El Luchador.
Well, he wants his title back. He wants to become a 2-time champion.
Either way, because they haven't sent their picks in, I don't think any of them could progress any further.
Oh. Doesn't this go to Hell in a Cell or no? I forgot.
No, so Jen beat Maurice 2-1.
Okay.
By winning the challenge match. So Jen will be going to Hell in a Cell.
Mandy said it wrong. Jen is going to Hell in a Cell! You gotta yell it.
Hell in a Cell.
I mean, I really wish they don't announce pay-per-views ahead of time. I wish that we could, as we move on to Raw, probably, I wish that we'd just be a secret. It's like, yeah, Randy Orton, I challenge you to Hell in a Cell. And you'd be like, oh, and then the next pay-per-view, it's called Hell in a Cell. You go, oh, man, they got me. I didn't know that was coming. I didn't know. But when you know it's coming, it's like, Hell in a Cell. No shit.
Well, Grunch said Lucha wins by forfeit. I'm going to give them because I'm not chasing them for picks. They know what's on the line. I don't have to chase them to get them to give picks. They have got to the end of the show to put picks in.
Will they make it? But they can't win. Like it's basically a luchador taking a knee, or the Lakers and the Miami Heat in the finals. Even though Miami got that one win, they're not going to beat the Lakers.
Well, see, for Wes to win, he would have to differ on every pick El Luchador has already put in.
Oh man!
And
well, he's done that before.
And El Luchador's picks are now scrolling down the bottom. So if you want to
hey.
So moving on to Monday Night Raw. I'm going to gloss over a lot of things that I felt didn't matter. But so Raw opens up with Randy Orton reflecting about his last 2 weeks. Like he was unveiling his master plan. Like an evil villain in a movie.
Yeah, he went full detail. Only to go back to the scene of the crime. Which apparently a Legends Lounge is a legit room now because it was a piece of paper on the wall that said Legends Room. But whatever. Oh, he was going into detail of everything he did or what happened in the dark or what we missed. And him describing the Big Show was just flailing wild at me, and then I cut that shit out and hit him in the face with the chair. And I'm like, some of this might be murder.
Well, the funniest part was so Christian was looking for help in the dock.
Yes.
Shawn Michaels picks up his chair that he was sitting on and raised it above his head. And then Ric Flair was fumbling around with the door handle like a scared white chick in a horror movie.
Oh God! Like the description of that was hilarious to me about what everybody was doing in the dark. It just seemed like I feel like in the dark, my number one move will be I think I'm going for the light switch. I think I know where that's at.
So and then so Randy reminds Drew that this isn't over till he says it's over. Drew McIntyre enters the room and starts a brawl. Tells Randy Orton he doesn't need to turn off the lights to beat the hell out of him.
Randy then proceeds to run for life. Although seeing me talking shit about somebody in a room in which I killed somebody's friends, and then the dude who, if a dude like Drew McIntyre opened the door and was like, "Motherfucker, I'll kill you." If I'm Randy Orton, I'm running for my life. I feel like that was the move I would make. I am not fighting that guy right now because I feel like he was gonna win. The way he came in the white beater and jeans, that dude looked like he was gonna kill me. Do you think this?
Oh, I've just lost Marcus.
In the middle of this again.
What happened to you? I just lost you for like a second.
Yeah, I got a phone call.
Oh, okay. So
and I hit decline right away. So,
okay. So what were you saying?
Something about white beater attacking Randy Orton, and I would run away from Drew McIntyre the same way. But it just seemed like that was somebody you don't want to mess with at that point. Like I'm not fighting you right now, and I'm getting the fuck out. Oh, I don't remember what I was saying. I was saying, do you feel that him killing the Legends again does it add, like they're making this more personal? Does it make it more personal for you that way, or is it just still status quo of just basically a rematch? Because I feel like it doesn't. I don't have any attachment to these.
Drew.
Yeah.
I don't need all four of these people.
Yeah, this personal attachment to Drew and these random batch of legends who are a random batch of legends. I mean, Shawn Michaels and Christian are a generation apart when it comes to wrestling. One was Attitude Era, one was New Generation, and then one had a resurgence in the Cena era. As Christian Flair in TNA. Ric Flair was all over the place, and the Big Show is the most hated wrestler of all time.
Yeah. So I'm going to list a few things that I believe didn't matter during this night overall. And then feel free to jump in if you want to talk about it.
Just ask me if it matters or not matter.
Okay, so Zelina Vega, Lana, and The Boat versus Asuka, Dana Brooke, and Mandy Rose.
This only mattered because Lana went through a table, and I need to see that every week. In the same exact spot, it's this horrible deja vu Lana every single week. And I just want her to respond, Natty, I'm not going out there tonight. Because she saved Natty and ended up going to the table. To me, I laughed my ass off for that.
Do you know what I have a problem with this? Not that she's going through the table, it's that they rebuild the table after it's happened. And I don't like that.
Okay, here's my question. Do you have a more problem with them rebuilding the table or NXT uses stand-ins with Vic Joseph on TakeOver?
Yeah, what the hell was that?
I don't know. I feel like they thought it'd be weird if he was there by himself. That's what I think it was. They saw it and it was like, this looks awkward.
No, do you know what the problem is? So they showed him numerous times at that desk, and those two weren't sitting with him. When they shot a shot of him to talk to the camera, those two that were sitting next to him were not there. And then
I just thought it was weird.
Matches they were there.
Yeah, I just thought they were weird. Like they were just there, and I was like, what are they there for? Like we understand that Beth and Wade are not here. They're not here. And they had two stand-ins that looked nothing like them. Like, not even close.
So another thing I felt...
Red hair. Uh-oh. Hello?
Hello.
It looked like we lost connection for a second. I don't know what happened there.
Had
nothing to do with me.
I feel like you dropped out. For a second.
I feel like you dropped out, all right? How about that? I didn't drop out.
I went full screen.
Oh, well, maybe I did drop out. Shit.
So the next thing that I thought didn't matter was the women's tag team title match between Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and the Riot Squad. They, as I wrote in my notes, they broke up the Iconics for this. Hashtag Billy Kay deserves better.
Yes, hashtag Billy Kay needs to be pushed. Hashtag we need another throw punch. To me, this didn't matter other than Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are two of the most hated people in wrestling, and I feel like they play really good heels. Like, you hate Nia on principle, like for existing. Like the fact that Nia exists.
I'm sorry, existing is a bit harsh. I'm sure she could have a lovely career outside wrestling.
But you hate her for being who she is and where she's at. And, you know, I realize that there's something there. The Riot Squad, there's nothing there to make them top contenders. I think they need to venture off to NXT, and I don't know what team could form to fight them other than Raquel and Dakota, but, you know, I don't even feel that could happen. Maybe Retribution get them. Come on, Mia Yim and I don't know their name. I'll call them Ice Pick and Stone Brass. I don't know what their name. I honestly don't know what they're called. But yeah, maybe they go after him.
So R-Truth and his 24/7 shenanigans. I felt like I didn't need to see that. It was funny, but I was just like,
I enjoyed the part where he called Drew Gulak Randy Orton. Oh no, Randy Orton!
I wish I had the graphic of R-Truth's draft board.
Yeah. I hope it's accurate. I really do. I want them to go back to be like, wow, he nailed it.
I think he's got Mercy the Buzzard going to Raw. And Vince McMahon going to SmackDown. So, we got Braun Strowman in the back demanding a match from the Postman. The Postman delivers by giving him an exhibition match, as he's not a member of the Raw roster.
What the fuck's the difference? Yeah.
And then what was the honest point of this match? it lasted like 2 seconds because they both got counted out. And then Braun Strowman drives him through a barricade, to which, if you watch back the clip, when Big Keith Lee gets up, he dusts off his titty.
Yeah, he dusts off the titty like, I'm alright. My titty's a little dusty, but it's alright, it's good. Look, get the little dust on my titty. Oh, my favorite part about this was Braun Strowman after getting counted out. You gonna count me out when I'm trying to bring ratings to your show? That was too on the nose. That was too on the nose. That's all you were here for. That's all the underground's there for. That's all any of this. And it was just him yelling at the ref, and I'm the ref going like, dude.
So Keith Lee throws him into an LED ball, and then they both go off the stage.
Are they done? Do you think, are they finished or are they done? Is this a one-off kind of deal?
I think this is going to end up. I think either is going to get drafted to the other show.
Yeah, and we're never going to get a conclusion to this? Maybe they bring it up at the Rumble? Oh.
I think we'll get a conclusion. Like either Braun gets brought to Raw because he doesn't seem like he's doing anything right now, or Keith gets moved to SmackDown, which I think a better fit for Keith is actually on SmackDown.
Yeah, who you got going on? Well, if Keith Lee goes to SmackDown, Manny, whose spot is he taking? That's Big E's spot. You know that. You can't have him take that spot. Him and Roman would be a great feud, but you don't want him taking Big E's spot. This is Big E's moment. Big E is on the cusp of fighting Roman Reigns, I feel.
I think they're bringing the New Day to Raw.
Oh, yeah, could. With the Profits, or do you move the Profits?
I leave the Profits there. I would love to see the New Day versus the Profits.
I don't think we're moving New Day to Raw because that would be the end of Big E's push. Like his solo push would be over.
But I honestly don't see Big E like standing a chance against the Tribal Chief.
No, but him standing with the Tribal Chief elevates him, though, right? At least gives him that moment. Like a Big E match defending the Jey Uso because Jimmy's hurt, and I can see after Hell in a Cell he goes, I'll beat your ass too, and he can't do it, and then Big E goes, so I'll fight your ass, because they have that line. I'm all for that storyline, and then Big E gets his ass beat at Survivor Series or whatever. I know they're not fighting at Survivor Series because it's probably champion versus champion, Drew versus Roman, which would be probably incredible as a heavyweight title. I wouldn't book a finish to it. Maybe Drew loses, but I don't want to see Keith Lee move to SmackDown because I think he'll take that spot.
So this could be either doesn't matter or could matter a little bit. The KO show.
I think it matters much.
He feels different after the Fiend touched him. He feels the anger, the agony, and the dread. He doesn't understand why the Dark Souls don't like him. Suggests that the next week he might get attacked by the Brood or the Ministry of Darkness. He's then going back and forth with Bray, who's on the Tron, who tells him he has no idea what he's got himself into. But come SmackDown, he will. Kevin attempts to go looking for Bray before he's taken out by Aleister Black.
Yes. So, with this, I really enjoyed the Funhouse and Kevin Owens. I feel like there was a chemistry there, and it was a natural feud that needed to happen. And it would revert Kevin Owens back to the prize fighter, the killer that he used to be, instead of the family man. And I really need this feud to work out that way. And I also need Aleister to form up with Bray. And, let him in or whatever. And they can form maybe this new Wyatt family of Bliss, Black, and Wyatt as this unique version of the Wyatt family that is probably a better in-ring version, and it's just not a bunch of big dudes.
Yeah. So,
but KO needs to change.
Yeah, he does. I was hoping he turned back to the prize fighter and start playing gold again. It just seems like he's stuck doing nothing, and he's not like a character. He's not like a character like Seth that can be like doing stuff without a title. I feel like Kevin Owens either is doing nothing like he is now, or he is the champion. That's the way Kevin Owens should be.
Of all these three guys involved, Bray, Owens, and Black, which one do you think is more likely moving to a different show?
I could probably see Owens moving to SmackDown, because if you move Black to SmackDown, you got to move Zelina.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, SmackDown is considered the A show. I can see Black going back to SmackDown, even though I know he's on Raw. But I feel like he would really help there, like either mid card or upper mid card division because it seems pretty. To me, it's thin when you got Baron Corbin and Matt Riddle feuding with each other in that little mid card spot over and over.
So Levi said Keith Lee needs to move to BT. WWE has a gold mine. If they turn Keith Lee into an R&B singer, I like Keith Sweat.
No, you don't turn him to Keith. Just because you got Keith in the name, you don't turn him to Keith Sweat. You turn him to Gerald Levert. Okay, you turn him to Gerald Levert. That is a old black man reference right there. You turn to Gerald Levert. And those who don't know, Google that shit. And you'll be like, oh, that's who Keith Lee is. That's what's going on here. Levi should know. If he turns to Keith Lee and he starts saying it twisted, I don't need that. You got me twisting now. That's the most nasally song of all time. I hate it.
On to the things that I did feel that mattered. Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy versus Humberto Carrillo and Dominic. The match didn't matter, but everything after it did matter.
Yes.
Murphy tells Seth if he wants him to continue being his disciple, he needs to apologize, not to him, but to Aaliyah. Seth said she is lucky he didn't expose the rest of the DMs of Aaliyah expressing her feelings about her family.
Dick pics!
After the match, Seth demands Murphy apologizes to him by 10 p.m. Otherwise, there will be hell to pay. The best thing about this was they put up a graphic during the tag match with time left to apologize. I thought this was great.
That was some old school, cheesy ass WWE shit that it felt like something that was so cheesy, but it was great. It was great. It made me laugh when it was like 21 minutes to apologize. Considering we had countdowns for various different segments, this one was the countdown that we waited. And then when it was coming up to 0, they were like, oh, it's coming up to the end. This countdown, is he going to apologize? I actually enjoyed this segment, and Aaliyah, I thought this was the night she turned. I saw her in the back. She was dressed in that polka dot nun outfit, and it looked like she was about to become a evil nun with Seth, and she was going to turn on Buddy.
I thought that was happening.
Yes. I really thought that was happening. Like, Buddy getting his, attacking Seth and turning on him finally. I'm all for it. It's great. But Aaliyah low blow to Buddy would be the great. How did they get the deals? Aaliyah exposed them, you fool.
See, the Mysterio angle is probably the funniest thing to me, and I enjoy it so much. But then moving to the next thing that mattered the most was MVP is in the back, letting Apollo Crews, Mustafa Ali, and Ricochet know that they are on the clock as he is an opening in the Hurt Business.
Yes.
MVP is making up lies in the ring, stating that the only reason they won was because Retribution got involved. The catering squad then come out and make reference to MVP's excuses, and Ricochet letting MVP know he has passed on the opportunity to join the Hurt Business. Although each time they brought it up, Ricochet looked like he was really thinking about it.
Yeah. So here's what I wanted to happen to this. Oh, when Ricochet got on the microphone and was really being horrible and laughing and doing a fake laugh, and it seemed like he was clowning or MVP, and nobody seemed to be upset. I wanted him to look like the damn fool. Like him just laughing, and when MVP said, "You better be careful" or something, he said something along those lines. I wanted Apollo and Mustafa to beat the shit out of Ricochet. And we took up on it. We took the over, and I thought that was legit gonna happen when he walked forward, and I was like, "Oh shit, they gonna all turn over." But I feel like that everybody in this group, other than Mustafa, is gonna end up in the Hurt Business because now they have no reason to fight.
I honestly thought Ricochet should have jumped to the Hurt Business, and then the final turn of what we later learn is Mustafa Ali is the leader of the Hurt Business.
Yes, and when that happened, that moment of like him looking, and and he's like, "Get him," and I went, "Oh, he did it!" Like when we started walking out the ring, I realized what was going on. That was wrestling 101. No one walks into anybody's face like that unless they're in charge. And when it happened, and then they attacked everybody, and all of Retribution came out and they stood in the ring, and he had the light, and I was like, That is an interesting choice as a leader. Retribution, who I've been behind since day one, may have been redeemed with Mustafa Ali being the leader. I text Ryan right after this, and I was like, at this, because me and Ryan have wanted one thing from Mustafa. We wanted the racial stereotype of him coming out as a sheik, basically, because it's completely racist and not beneath WWE to do that. It's not. And so I text Ryan, Mustafa might start wearing the sheik now, and then Ryan goes, if he doesn't, I'm not watching the show no more. That's how serious. So it really evolved. Like, I feel like that was a great choice, but I still don't feel like he's the boss. I still think the Miz will be the boss of Retribution.
Well, I think that he shouldn't be the boss because everyone's taller than him.
That's okay. That's happened from the beginning of time. Everybody got their muscle. Everybody got their muscle. And that is his muscle. Dio Madden with his bulging eyes and Dijakovic are just muscle. And I believe Mia Yim and Mercedes is also taller than him as well. But it's just muscle. Like, I feel like he's a good number 2. Like, he's a good Starscream. He ain't Megatron.
And then we end the night on a 6-person tag with Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler, and Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre and Street Profits. It was an alright match, Raw.
It was alright, but that's not they gave me the wrong finish. I know what I wanted. I know exactly what I want, and I know it's gonna happen one day, and I know the world's gonna be amazed by it, and they're gonna call it the greatest RKO of all time. It's Trez going for his 180 frog splash into an RKO, and that's how I wanted that match to finish. Damn the storyline of him finally getting Drew McIntyre finally getting pinned on TV, and we're going to Hell in a Cell. Damn all that. I need Trez to go for his super high frog splash and Randy Orton to catch up in the greatest RKO of all time. Because it would be. I seen it in my head and I was like, this is nothing but amazing. Like, in the start of the match, that was my finish. I was like, Trez is going to go up and he's going to end up in the RKO after being in the frog splash, after doing the full 180. And I was going to just stand up and applaud. But that didn't happen.
It really didn't happen.
No.
And then on that note, that is the end of Raw, guys. What did you think of Raw, Marcus?
I thought it was a show of lot of, like, if the show was 2 hours, it would be a much better show, as always, or even less than 2 hours. It had its moments with Mustafa. I thought they established the Drew and Randy, the re-up on their feud. Lana went through a table again. I thought it was a solid show. I'm going to say this was a solid episode of Raw, and they gave me something for Retribution. And I know some people may be happy that Raw Underground wasn't on there, but I missed it. I missed the Underground.
Jeremy asked, can we get a close-up of the NXT belt? I haven't seen you show up a prop in a while. That actually isn't a belt. That is a pillow.
You've been fooled. Randy rests his head on the champion. He rests his head on championship gold. Are they both pillows back there?
Yeah. I'm going to add more as well as time goes on.
I didn't even know they sold those. That seemed like something I should have. It seems so comfortable to sleep on gold.
So that's the stuff I wanted to put up, because I'm thinking my background back here looks too plain.
It's a bed, man. One day you're going to leave the stream open, Manny, and, people going to see something that they don't want to see. With you in the bed, some lady walking in, you're going to be like, hey, how you doing? And it's like, oh, this is Manny Scandal. This is Manny Gate. Highest viewed YouTube episode ever.
Well, our last show was probably the highest viewed ever.
And I don't know why. I feel like I didn't even bring it in that one. I don't even remember what I said, to be honest.
So we're going to have to get used to going back to our normal numbers of 100, I think, this week.
I can't wait to get that 55 view again. And be like, oh, what happened with this one?
Well, I just want to point out, Wes wasn't even in the chat on that Thursday show, and it was the highest viewed show. So,
hey, Wes, I felt like, as champion, needs to be the champion because just like Braun Strowman, I'm trying to bring ratings to this damn show. That's what he's doing.
But no, he wasn't even in his presence to bring views to the show.
Don't matter. People always assumed he was coming up like Steve Austin at the end of every show. Like, oh, here comes Steve Austin, here comes Stone Cold.
And given that the Dizman and Wes have not put in their picks for Dynamite, we've got new DSPN Pick'em champion.
We do. Man, we need to make a new DSPN championship pillow. That's what we need. Rest your head with the sharpshooters putting you to sleep. I don't even know.
I do have something for Wes, though. We need to make a new title for Wes with the picture of Sasha Banks and the neck brace on, because Wes is the first champion to defend the title twice and lose it both times. He is the Sasha Banks of the Sharpshooters Network.
He has the Sasha Banks Award. Damn it. No one wants that. No one wants that dubious feeling of like, damn, I can't defend. I can't defend nothing. There ain't no repeat.
And I'm going to declare Wes will never get a title shot unless he meets either of these two conditions. One, he buys DSPN merch. Real DSPN merch. Or two, the original bet from WrestleMania, where you, Marcus, have fulfilled your end of that bargain.
Oh, yeah.
Wes has yet to pick up that Tamina shirt.
No one's beating the Tamina.
So until Wes does either of those two, he will never, I mean, never challenge for the DSPN Pick'em title again. And this isn't like AW where we make a title just for Cody.
The Be More title. Oh no, the YouTube title.
However, he can, if he would like to, the moment someone also doesn't retain their title after one defense, he can defend his Sasha Banks title. But until then,
Sasha title.
That's
a mid-card title.
Which cannot be defended.
Yeah, it can't be defended. You can't retain. You can never retain it. You can only hope to capture it, but you can never retain it. It's always a weird stipulation with, yeah, you lost because, it was Wednesday. If you defend on Wednesday, you can't win. Well, the Mandalorian debuted, therefore you can't. Sasha Banks appeared on TV, so therefore you have lost your title.
So, and I'm going to say this for his disciple E-Mold. I don't think you should be able to challenge for the title, provided Wes hasn't met either of those conditions. So I would tell your Messiah to meet one of those conditions.
Wow. Wow. A breakdown on the delusional clan.
And on
the
that
DC
note,
and the Lover Chat.
And on that note, you've been watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I, of course, have been Lord Manny. Hey, Hayes. And
but hold, Manny. On this week's show, on the Thursday show, we have more Wednesday Night War, and we have special guest Maurice, right? Is he still booked?
Yeah.
So
I need to confirm with him, but I think he should be coming on.
Okay. And my prediction for the Wednesday Night War, NXT is going to win in the ratings this week. They're going to do it.
You think?
Yes. They're going to get 896 views or watchers, and AEW is going to get 880.
So it's going to be close.
It's going to be close, but they're going to get the win. They're going to get the win. The black and gold brand, not the Hurt Business. But NXT will get the win.
Grunt Smith said you're probably the only person to buy the Tamina shirt because they're probably still making them.
It's a custom shirt. shirt, all right? And it's probably what you can get it. You can still buy a Tamina shirt. And Nia Jax had one 3 weeks ago.
Gruntsmith, Tamina shirts are like the shirts that they make at the Super Bowl, where the loser shirts go to like Africa.
Shit. I like to think that the ultimate stipulation, what Roman put on Jey Uso, the ultimate consequence for this title shot, he has to support Tamina. you have to wear your Tamina gear all the time. You have to support her, all right? You put food on her table. You get the little kitty table in the family. Well, anyway, and you say you were Manny. I'm going to finish with this long ending of my name. I'm Marcus, the grand finale. And that's the bottom says. Thanks for watching, and peace out.
Peace.